Sometimes I dream translucently.
Well, I love you too, baby.
He's all alone.
Energy entered me and I'm ready for my enemies.
No, I have not spoken to you. Bang, bang.
I can still hear his cries.
But don't think this is about you though.
Give you the keys to paradise so you can dodge your fate.
I got my own crib, but I can't pay rent.
We don't gotta be poor.
I'm unable to cope.
I am not ashamed of who I am.
They got aborted because I couldn't afford it being too young and running wild.
Hey CCP, how you doing today? When I say CC, you say P. CC, CC. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the, drop the. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love, I love. Poetry. Give it up for drop the mic. Let's get it started. What's up, CCP? How y'all feeling today? So happy to hear that. Thank you all for joining us for audition day 2 of Drop the Mic. I am Dr. Michelle Myers. I'm an associate professor in the English department, and I am the host of Drop the Mic. We are an Emmy-nominated television show. Please, everyone, put your hands together for being Emmy-nominated. So we are super excited for this second day of our audition shows. And so we will have 11 student contestants performing today. They will perform in 2 rounds. And for each one of those rounds, they will perform 1 poem, and they will be timed in terms of how long they are on stage performing those poems. So the amount of time that each student contestant has is 3 minutes and 15 seconds. For each second a student goes over that time limit, they will be deducted a half a point, okay? So students should keep track of their time to make sure they do not go over. The top 5 students will be announced at the very end of today's show, and those scores are determined on the combined total of their performance for round 1 and round 2. Okay, so those totals will then determine which students will move on to our final showcase, which will take place next week. And the folks who will be making that call are our illustrious judges. Please put your hands together for our judges, our Emmy-nominated judges. And so I'd like to take a time to introduce each one of our judges to you. So the judge who is closest to us is Kevin Covington. Please make some noise for Kevin. He is a support coach in the Center for Male Engagement. And next to Kevin, we have Elizabeth Catanese. Please put your hands together for Elizabeth. She is a professor in the English department here at Community College of Philadelphia. And next to Elizabeth, we have Alicia Dantzler. Please make some noise for Alicia. She is a spoken word poet and a graduate of Community College of Philadelphia. And then our judge at the far end of the table is DeForio Barlow. Please put your hands together for DeForio. He is a testing specialist in the assessment center here at Community College of Philadelphia. And so after each student contestant has performed, we will receive some comments and feedback from our judges. And so we're so happy to have all of you in our audience. And so I just want to remind you that each one of our students who are coming up here, they're sharing their heart, they're sharing their passion, you know, they're sharing these words that they felt so moved to write down, and you know, brave coming up onto the stage behind this mic, you know, to perform before you. So please give them your love. Please give them all your support and your energy. If you hear something that you like, please, you know, snap your fingers or clap your hands or respond back to the performer in whatever way you feel moved to do so, okay? So are y'all ready to hear some poetry? Everybody say yeah. All right, so let's do a quick call and response just to get warmed up. When I say CC, you say P. CC? P. CC? P. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the? Mike. Drop the? Mike. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love. Poetry. I love. Poetry. That's what's up, CC. Put your hands together for yourselves. So the poet on deck is Van Johnson. And coming to the mic, we have Alexis. Make some noise for Alexis.
It was definitely nerve-wracking to go first. I was definitely a little bit intimidated after hearing such great poetry, but it was a great feeling, you know, being able to share and express myself, especially with such a big topic. Hi, everybody. All right, so this month is very important because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But there are many different causes that fall under the same month, and this month also happens to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind. This poem is called Wedding Vows. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Baby girl, you got it made. You's a married girl now. Black Beamer, blue Benz, red bottom Louboutins. Bitch, please. Black and blue bruises, red eyes from crying, tinted windows to the hospital. He said he would stop. Another broken promise, another broken rib, till death do us part, but I can't see an end. My eyes won't part open, swollen shut. Black eye for late dinner, broken nose for no sense. This shit's getting old. Next time I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. A broken record on our bedroom floor. Right next to a broken frame, 2 inches from hitting my head. I thought that when we got married, things would change. You said you would change. I'm tired of telling people I fell. Yeah, right, I've fallen. Fallen for the same shit over and over and over again. You hit me, I peck. You do better, I stay. Hoping for peace for just one more day. Leave then, they say. It's not that easy. Please believe me, I nursed our newborn baby after I nursed this busted lip, leaning against this mirror, staring at this bruise. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but what about a woman burned? Rug burns all up and down my body, dragged up the steps because your co-worker said I was pretty. Chanel shades to cover these Mayweather fades. I'm tired. I'm leaving. I swear this time I'm leaving. I'm leaving, all right. All red lights, all blue lights. All red lights, blue lights, red lights, blue lights, red lights, blue lights, white lights. Sirens, silence. This time I'm leaving. I'm leaving, all right, in a body bag.
Kevin, do you have some feedback?
Wow, I mean, really, really great poem. I like the energy. Oftentimes we see performers come up and they'll have a piece of paper or a cell phone and don't engage the audience, but you did. And you were able to even make something so serious. You gave it a lot of light and a lot of spirit. So really appreciate the piece. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I loved how you were taking the words and then turning them from, you know, the positive wedding imagery to the negative violence within the situation. We were all up here saying like, It was really, really powerful.
Alicia.
I really like, as Elizabeth just said, how you flipped the words and you had so many lines back to back. One suggestion would be, because you are talking about something so serious as domestic violence, let us see that bliss and that pain. Let us see how those things contrast in your tone.
Thank you. And DeForio.
I think it would have been better for me if you had memorized it a little bit more and gave it a little more emphasis. Overall, I thought it was a good piece, though.
Thank you, judges. Everyone, please put your hands together one more time for Alexis. So the poet on deck is Dream Speaks, and coming to the mic, we have Van Johnson. Make some noise for Van Johnson.
It relieves stress for me. It's a huge stress reliever. And at the same time, it helps for other people that I don't even know.
I've always been afraid of what I won't become. God's voice isn't as clear as me as it used to be. Is it me? Trying to obtain everything in me at any cost, even though my soul is lost. Every nigga want to be called a boss because the fact that we were the slave still doesn't sit right. So I sit and write heavy messages, but this is light. America is essentially a dream. That's what Dr. King said. But Dr. King's dead. But what happened to the dream? It's the question I ask myself every day I walk the streets. Every day you see a bunch of smiling faces, but could they be friendly racists? I mean, tell me, how do we face this now, King? Let's get one thing straight. I didn't come up here for a snap fest. This is how I relieve stress. It just so happens that y'all find it entertaining. So with the time I have remaining, I guess I'll do some explaining. The last time I touched this stage, I let y'all see a different side of me. That beast always hiding me. That killed my need for privacy. But it's the pride in me that got me back. Okay, back to black. Why does color mean so much? When we were the ones forced into the darkness, as if we didn't already have a clear enough distinction. We were taken from kings and nearly led to extinction. Oh, but you want to teach me about the Holocaust and all those lives lost. Save it because you're just insulting my character. Oh yeah, it must be a real struggle owning every bank in America. What happened to the dream? Why do we gotta scream? Why does it gotta be another mother beating on a coffin? This happens too often. But play that music, baby. But the police, they're not going crazy. They just going by the rules, you know, playing pool, getting every other color out the way just so they can hit that black 8 weight. Now turn to the person next to you and look at their faces. Did this motherfucker just say pool is racist? Yes. Now embrace this. What happened to the dream? I just want you to be a stand-up I just want you to be a stand-up person. Because the last angel that fell back brought hell back. Miss Myers, can you smell that? I think it's done.
It kind of slow in the beginning, but I was here before and I was ready to go, so I wanted to send a clear message.
Van Johnson, everyone. Elizabeth, you have some feedback?
I enjoyed the meta quality of it, that you were commenting about performing as you were performing, and it was almost stream of consciousness like Virginia Woolf, but you had some moments that brought us back into the moment, like the Martin Luther King reference throughout the poem. I enjoyed what you were doing. Very creative.
Thank you. Alicia.
I like how you come to the stage and you just confident and you got this control of the audience as well as your work. And that 8-ball line was like super dope, by the way.
Thank you. DeForio.
Welcome back, sir. Good to see you. I thought it was really good, very entertaining. I appreciate your pace. It's always on point to me. I think you just come in ready to really fight and give everybody all that they really came to get. I appreciate that. It's good.
Thank you. And Kevin.
Definitely a fan. I don't know if we're supposed to say that, but like DeForio and like other judges have said before too, your command of the not only of the stage but also of your piece is really good. And you walked us through the imagery, and then when you even brought in Michelle towards the end, it's a great piece. You gotta love when people own their piece and perform it well. So good job.
I feel fantastic. It's a hell of a feeling.
Thank you, judges. Show your love one more time for Van Johnson. So the poet on deck is Annette, and coming to the mic we have Dream Speaks. Please make some noise for Dream Speaks.
I do this basically for an outlet for myself. I feel like a lot of the things that I have in my mind are easily said if I write it down.
Hi, everybody. This is a personal story for me, so I would like to share it for you guys. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So don't take my sunshine away. But you did. Depart from the love and joy in my life. I can still hear his cries as his heart ended his last breath. And you, who was a part of me, was slowly pulled away like an umbilical cord ready to be cut, like a doctor who managed to take away the only thing that connected us. And surprisingly, I did not run away from the tears that I kept to water the garden of your grave as you lie there, still inhaling my screams as your heartbeat, boom, boom, like the sound, boom, boom, of a drum, boom, boom, in the bone dry summer of misery. You were made with my flesh and blood, and you left me with the only thing a son can leave with their mother, their heart. So that's why I hold on to it with dear life, because I know one day, boom, 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 I can hand it back to you. Thank you.
One more time for Dream Speaks, everybody. In case you couldn't hear me. Alicia, do you have some feedback?
Yeah, I'm just excited that you took that piece. You did it before. You took that piece and you actually worked on it. The poem was dope already, but you actually worked on your performance, and I see so much growth and progress in it.
Thank you, DeForio.
I think it's important to understand how bravery is shown on the stage, and I think you really showed how brave you are to even cover that piece. Good job.
Thank you. Kevin.
Yeah, definitely. I too remember the piece that was performed before, and when you have someone who does this, says you actually did this even better, that's a great thing. Love your performance. It was almost, you're in a room full of people, but it seems like you just let us in that small space that you occupy, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. And Elizabeth.
I thought your work with sound was really powerful, the heartbeat and how at the end it slowed the poem down a little bit. Yeah, I had chills during it. Wonderful job.
I'm more nervous than I was last year, but they noticed that I've really worked on a poem, and I'm excited to hear everybody else's.
Thank you, judges. Everyone, please make some noise one more time for Dream Speaks. The poet on deck is Amira, and coming to this stage we have Anette. Please put your hands together for Anette.
My desire is to write children's books in an animation form, and because music is my style, that's the format that I would like to use.
Oh Lord, I come to worship you and magnify your name. With a humble heart and pure lips your praise to proclaim. You are my Lord, you are my God, you are worthy of all my praise. Let everything I do in Jesus' name, for his honor, yeah. Let everything I do in Jesus' name, for his glory, yeah. Let everything I do in Jesus' name. God bless you and good afternoon. The poem that I'm getting ready to do is entitled In. All of my poetry and my songs that I do in honor of a young lady that I met in 2011. I only knew her for a couple months. Her name was Crystal Thomas. I met her at the Blumsburg Projects. She was a very prolific writer, and before I had knew it, she was gone. So I always do my poetry in honor of Miss Thomas and her family. The name of this poem I wrote 2 days ago is called In. In a stable he was born in a manger he laid in. At the synagogues and on Peter's fisherman boat, he preached in. During torrential storm, on a boat he slept in. I'm talking about the Christ. On stormy seas he walked in, riding on a donkey never ridden before in Jerusalem he came in. Crowns of thorn upon his head were pressed in, placed in Joseph of Arimathea's borrowed tomb he was buried in. Who you talking about, girl? I'm talking about the Christ. When his disciples hid behind closed locked doors, he entered in. After illuminating the two men on the Emmaus road with the word of God, he disappeared in. He ascended to heaven and he's coming back again. I am still talking about the Christ. In the twinkling of an eye, he'll be back in. Like a thief in the night, he'll steal in. On clouds, he'll ride in. The trumpet will resound upon his entrance in. Yes, I'm still talking about the Christ. In a moment, the dead in Christ will rise up in. He'll stand before the judgment seat in, and we'll have to give an account for our works in. Yes, I'm talking about the Christ. Amen.
Keep your applause going for Annette.
Annette, I appreciate your praise and worship. A lot of people are not really into that in terms of spirituality, but I thought that was a good piece. You got to pay attention to your time, though. Okay? Got to pay attention to your time. Good piece, though.
Thank you. Kevin.
Yeah, I definitely with the time, but also like the fact that you opened up with a song and you offered some context to it. I would also add that when you're reading like that, towards the end, your voice started to trail off because you were looking directly into the book, as opposed to early in the part where you were engaging us and kind of looking up, so the voice kind of went down. But it's a very good piece. But thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I thought it was a really interesting poem, the way that you were using the word in and wrapping that all around. And the rhyme like in, again, amen, really kept the rhythm of the piece going. Just as an interesting experiment, you might try putting in the friend that you are writing about into some of the poems and juxtaposing that with the Jesus stories. That could be really interesting too. I liked your presence on stage, very calm, very centered. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. And Alicia.
I just love your spirit that you bring to the stage. And as Elizabeth was saying, I will also suggest if like you're dedicating your poem to someone, to maybe put that at the beginning or the end of the piece, and then have the singing portion more together with the actual poem, so you can see that those two things are connected, and you still get the honor and the dedication towards that person that you're doing it for.
I think it was good. I didn't get a chance to complete it. I waited. I think I used too much time, and probably the last lines I didn't do because I was so behind on time.
Thank you, judges. Everyone, please put your hands together one more time for Annette. The poet on deck is Hazard, and coming to the mic we have Amira. Please make some noise for Amira.
To me, she's a pretty culture girl with no reflection, surrounded by the uncertainty of unlearned lessons. She questions everything down to her blessings. Mother was nature, father was time, now she's expecting. This one is called Africa. I never thought I'd write about you. I never really acknowledged you. I always made my face up in an effort to hide you. No one said that you weren't, but I was taught that you weren't beautiful. I know you, of course I know you, and you know and love me too. In second grade, to make fun of one another, we would call each other booty scratchers and make reference to you. Whenever I saw you, you were a disgrace to my race of people. You were cold and hungry. You were petty, dingy, a lost city. I saw everyone looking down at you, so I looked down at you too. Africa, I apologize, and I apologize to me too. I learned to hate you, your hair, your features, your tone. Oh God, your tone. Forgive me for learning to hate me. I mean, I noticed that I had the same texture hair as those Liberian children on TV. America insisted that I changed that, so I wore one perm and never looked back. but I'm back. And I'll cut my hair to the scalp to make alliance with you. No one said that you weren't, but I finally realized that you are beautiful. I see your beauty, how your eyes squint when your high cheekbones rise and those wide lips stand high like the glory in the knots of your head. I see your beauty in the base of the monotone muddle in the midst of your skin when your waist is of the world and your thin belly is caved in. I was a fool to learn not to love you. You beautiful queen, you created me. How dare I not honor you? Africa, they Americanized me, built my eyes to see the beauty in them and hate the beauty in me. My skin is tinted, my eyes are squinted, my lips, hip, and strength are in this. It shows that I'm a part of you. Africa, you are beautiful.
I would like to be a voice for people that, well, first of all, a voice for myself, because a lot of things that I have inside of me that sometimes I'm too afraid to say, although it's right, and a voice for people that really don't have the privilege of saying what they want to say and people hearing them.
Amira, keep your applause going for Amira. Do you have some feedback?
I do. Really good piece. I would just suggest if you could definitely work on not the content, but just learning how to perform it without the book, because you're starting to perform with it, and at some point the book kind of got into your way. I love the transition in the piece where you go from guilt to pride, and you can see the transition, and you voiced it really well, but very good piece.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I like how the poem is addressed to Africa, but then that allows you to get at all the different dimensions of your experience, and also to portray some level of ambivalence that comes to resolution at the end, but we still feel all the tension that got us to that point. I thought it was extremely powerful.
Thank you. Alicia.
I would suggest that you take your time to get grounded. Like, let yourself get comfortable on the stage, and also let your nerves work for you. Like, let that be your energy. And you really had a great tone throughout the piece, and you could feel the realness behind it. But let your nerves work for you.
And Euphoria.
Yeah, I would agree with Alicia. You came on and you were talking right before you got to the microphone, but once you started, it was super powerful throughout. I couldn't even tell that you were reading if I put my eyes down for a second. So just remember about your performance in your crowd. But I thought it was good.
But this is my first time actually performing something that I wrote in front of a crowd.
So the poet on deck is Nick, and coming to the mic, please, introducing Hazard. Put your hands together for Hazard.
I do music, but I just love to write, and I'm a writer, so.
How y'all doing? Y'all can hear me good? All right, this poem is self-entitled. I said, I'm just waiting. It's like I'm a doctor giving out examinations and trying different vaccinations, how I'm testing my patients. I'm a monster plus a genius, which is one hell of a combination. I'm an abomination who kills shit in moderation. I have zero consideration for a word that you're saying. I'm abrasive. Get your tramp damp. That's condensation. Plus this heat will put you to sleep. That's hibernation. My cup is contaminated. This gun will eradicate you. You fuckers are fabricators. My trigger finger is agitated. I'll put your cap in the air like a nigga just graduated. My cocaine is granulated, so my movements are animated. No tint, my whip sanitated. Whip a brick like it's mashed potatoes. Stick with my click, bitch, we stacking paper. I'm the reanimator with the hammer blazing. Raised in war, I'm a gladiator who's as hot as a radiator. You're a massive hater. Iced out like my house is on a massive glacier. I'm the passive-aggressive procrastinator with a message of mass termination. This is extermination of you vermin. Take this extended clip I made by myself. So it's a makeshift. Play rude, I'll make moves and take food before the day switch. I have no off switch. I just off shit so often. It's like I'm getting paid off by the niggas who make coffins. This gas is noxious and purple. I call it coughing. One hit of this spliff and you'll be coughing into the morning. Plus I'm a stand-up guy. I handle nines and I've touched more keys than piano ties. Damn right I shine. Your wife is attracted to my light. She's a camouflage. I cannot tell a lie because I've analyzed this storyline 1,000 times. No one takes heed when you speak. It's just story time. I have a gory mind. Distorted lines have afforded me and mine foreign rides. I'm torn inside. My soul has grown warm from the lies. I had to cut my ties, slice and dice to put my knife aside. See, I've been fried. But this high has me revitalized. I sport a Jack 09. I hope your castle's fortified. I spit crack, which makes you bring it back like I reordered mine. What's on my side is oversized. It will reorganize all your organs inside. I'm inclined to rip mine. I'm trying to bang on everything like I'm 6'9" and the rim's tied to something kid-sized. Sit tight. I pitch pies from midnight to the first light of sunrise. It's crunch time, so I cut mine. Yeah, it's stepped on like laces that are untied, but it's still nice. So if the pipe is what you like, come spend a dime, get high and unwind. I'm connected like zip lines. Your lack of intellect explains your disconnect like a ripped spine. You're just a parasite that likes to hitch rides. Yeah, it's a gnarly premise. Hazard and Harvey Dennis, niggas want beef until we meet, then they act like they hardly meant it. There's no harm in lessons. You can't see me because your depth perception is in question. My method's perfection. I'm trying to come up and have all my hits smashing. Own a truck in a mansion, then fuck it up, declare bankrupt, watch it come crashing and burn into ashes. Your actions show that you're tactless. My faction is full of wizards with mathematics, how we break you down into fractions. This cocaine has a hell of a stench. Though it's wrapped in plastic, I grab the arm and hammer and make it stretch. Like before practice. Now who can match wits? My track list is about as big as Shaq is. I won't dap you if you're too dapper. My 4-5 is spitting. It's side splitting like a knee slapper. Ease backwards or my steam's clapping. My team's lamping because I get the cheese and cut the green like a weed whacker. I'm as wavy as a sea dragon attacking and cracking. When I arrive, the scene blackens. I'm so high I'll fall from the sky and break branches. My paper stacking, I go to the bank and I break branches. You're a fool, wouldn't bust a move if we were breakdancing. Thank you.
Hazard! One more time for Hazard! Elizabeth, you have some feedback?
That was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I didn't get all of the words that you were saying, but I almost don't care. I mean, yeah. And I wonder how you memorized that too. That was really great. I really enjoyed it. Very musical too.
Thank you. Alicia.
I like how when you came to the stage, like you swagged it out, and then you just started spitting. And one thing that I realized you were doing, like you did a really good job at like back to back to back to back to back lines. And within that, you were just flowing. And sometimes it's good to just be able to get up on stage and just flow.
Thank you. DeForio.
Welcome to the competition, my brother.
What's good?
This is what we need.
Yeah,
you know, Hazard for real. That was good. That was good stuff. I was almost cursed. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. That was good.
And Kevin.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the pace was great. Like, I mean, you kind of get in where you fit in as an audience. Like, you miss something, just stay right where you are. You're gonna get it right back again. I love the pace. I like the fact that it was clever. It was deep. I mean, I kept writing, and then I was like, oh wait, I gotta write that down. And the fact that you memorized this piece and performed it. This is the importance of actually being able to memorize your piece and then deliver it. So really, really good, Lock brother. Nice.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Hazard.
I want to bring them closer with my words.
So the poet on deck is recognized, and coming to the mic, we have Nick. Please put your hands together for Nick.
It's just like my own personal therapy, just to get like all my thoughts out. Whenever I'm going through something, however I'm feeling, I just like to get it all out. So poetry has just always been that escape for me.
How y'all doing? Good. All right, this is a poem I wrote called Sixth Sense. It was about a young lady I used to talk to, so here it goes. All right. I wish I were a mind reader. I wish I could discover what's hidden behind your eyes, underneath your skull, and the cells that live in the core of your brain. I can never tell what you were thinking, and your eyes give nothing away. Sometimes you're just so damn impassive, leaving me guessing, trying to find your emotions in this void. I wish I could peel your skin off like an onion. I want to know if there's a human being under there. I want to know who you are. Do you have blood and flesh? Are you a mannequin? I wish I could cut you up like an apple, cut off this mysterious act you're putting on. Show me what lies beneath your center. I want to break you down like an abandoned building, slice your chest open like I'm performing surgery, pull your brain right out of your head. I want to know you. I wish I were a mind reader, so you would never have to say anything. I would already know. Thank you.
That was like a really fun experience. I was very nervous, but it was fun.
Alicia, do you have some feedback?
Yeah. So I have a little thing about when people put their hands in their pocket, try not to get on stage and do that, because I felt like you got on stage, you were a little reserved. Like, allow yourself to get comfortable and then jump into your poem. It was a sweet piece, though. It was sweet. It was for the ladies.
Thank you. DeForio.
So it's a good thing you're not with her anymore. How about that? I thought it was very creative. I thought it could have been a little better in terms of your interpretation and your presentation to us, but I thought it was a good piece.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, Brother Nick, you're fighting the fight that everybody's trying to fight, trying to understand the woman. So good luck with that piece. But yeah, it's like the 4 said. It's. I thought it was creative, touching on what Alicia said. If you can kind of just work on the performance aspect of it, and then just definitely own the piece. That way, you don't even need the piece of paper. You can kind of put forth that performance and connect with the audience. Good piece.
Thank you. And Elizabeth.
I liked your similes a lot. I liked the idea of the onion, and also not just that you had the similes, but that they rhymed with each other in some cases, like onion and mannequin. That was really cool. I think maybe even do a couple more of those, and instead of the sort of summary at the end of I wish I could understand you. Just let us. I mean, I wish I could understand you without you having to say anything. Just let us see that through more of that wonderful wordplay and simile work. I really liked it.
Thank you, judges. Make some noise one more time for Nick. Nick. So the poet on deck is the Iceman, and coming to the mic we have Recognize. Everyone please make some noise for Recognize.
I haven't really been doing poetry as far as performing it that long, so I'm still learning. I'm still a work in progress with that.
So I wrote this poem about a year and a half ago. The first verse is a summarization of this conversation that I had with the cook in the poppy store. The second verse is a conception of my girlfriend, and before she went out with me. And the third verse is just the autobiography of me. So the autobiography of Samuel. This nigga here. What's up, Stevie? What you ordering, Pop? I got a steak on the grill with onions on top. So what's up with the family? Everybody doing good? Same old, working to get out the hood. Ain't nothing neighborly about it. The sharks in our living quarters. You know, we just fishermen staying above water. How you doing with your girl? Don't tell me y'all broke up. No, I got faith. You can't get enough. Now tell me about the birds. Now let me tell you about the birds and the bees. If you don't strap up, boy, you'll plant a seed. To be 17, you're quite keen of your surroundings and the little things between her and you. High school, do you go? Are you keeping your grades up? You got friends? Did you even pick your major? You're choosing the right path. Don't you dare slip up. And here's your food. Remember what I said. You're really a good dude. Keep your ass out of trouble. The autobiography of Tabitha. Hey, and I said, I ain't see you in a while. I ain't noticed you transferred until now. Wow, I'm really liking what I see, but back in 9th grade, I thought you was trying to play me. But I did like the compliments you gave me. I had a crush, but I don't want to be nobody baby. Anyway, what you been up to? I leave school at 3. What you trying to do? Downtown, South Street, Penn's Landing View? I don't care, I just want to get to know you. We've been talking for 3 months. When's he gonna make the next move? A touch, a hug, a kiss, a two? Weeks went by, the constant debating. His spider senses kicked in. Now he's into saving me. Of all the girls, I'm sure he passed up. Wow, this must be how Mary Jane felt. The autobiography of me. I just had a couple of things to say. Keeping a grudge nowadays will lead you astray. I need people like these two to keep my goals within view. I have a better relationship with the unknown than the ones I do know. Words to the wise, don't fold to demise. Seek the truth and you'll find that the proof is disguised. What I mean is find yourself and don't ever lose touch. Motivate yourself and get the hell up. For my kings and my queens, take a hold of your dreams. We don't chase them no more, that was a meek thing. I hear people say that they on the grind, but the only time they post it is when they on the timeline. I see false promises and shattered dreams every day, but others fight on, Cassius Clay. Like me with the poems. People doubted what I wrote. I bet you can't write like me, can't rhyme words like me, can't move the pen like me, to the point everybody can see. I'm giving you advice and exposing myself simultaneously. What's these words without a piece of me to share to you? A picture without color, do you care to view? Become nose blind to the sin of money. That sounds blasphemous, especially when you money hungry. But I understand, you gotta get paid. Forget happiness plus a career you could love. Every little bit helps. Let's start from the ground up. I'm so blessed constantly being saved like a Google Doc text. I can't wait to share my wisdom to the one who shines next.
Recognize. Before, do you have some feedback?
I like the third section the best because I felt like that was the most truthful for you. I think your tone changed when you got to that part. I thought it was really real and inspiring. I think that if you had combined all three or tied them all in at the end, it would have been a lot better to see how each stanza or each verse kind of made sense for the whole poem together.
Thank you. Kevin.
Yeah, it's funny DeForio said that because I wrote down if you could work on maybe making the transition between all three, and then the audience can kind of see what that thread is between all three. And also, like we said before, if you could, you're reading this, but very little engagement with the audience, so you look up a few times, you're still just kind of like looking at it. So that's just going to come with some time and working on it. But the third piece does actually that's kind of where you got into your wheelhouse. That's where you were in your comfort zone. And then when you have a line like, you can't write like me, can't move the pen like me, we felt that. But when we look up, you're still just reading down. So that's an opportunity to kind of really engage. So good work.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I actually like the first two parts better. Oh, sorry, everybody else. I think that the third part was maybe just a separate poem, which was also really powerful. But what was cool for me about the first two parts was that we were getting the perspective of the speaker, but through the speaker's being in another person's head, sort of. The person was not responding, but we were still getting a really good sense of what was going on and the evolution of the person through that. So maybe if there was another third part that was in that same style for that, and then that's your spoken word poem, and then the other one could be just another wonderful one. You just have too much wonderfulness going on all at once.
Too much wonderful.
Thank you. And Alicia.
Yeah, I agree with a little bit of what everybody said. I feel like one thing that I do have to say is, like, when you came up, I would have rather you not explained the piece and how it was working out, and let us gather that interpretation and try to find a way to make it more cohesive, where those first two storytelling parts match the last part where you're more so spitting, because that's what you were doing. You were telling a story and then you just started spitting. Let that be more cohesive.
Thank you, judges. Everyone, one more time for Recognize. So the poet on deck is Mira, and coming to the mic, we have the Iceman. Please put your hands together for the Iceman. You can make more noise than that. Put your hands together for the Iceman.
I feel as though this is the gift that God gave me. First and foremost, I'm very excited to be here tonight, this afternoon, in front of all these talented individuals. You lost your grip on reality. To you and yours, it was a mere technicality. What was thought as a mere technicality inevitably was your grip on reality. I'm injecting you with an infusion. The side effects and illusion of confusion. I'm inside your brain with this mental intrusion. You're delusional, you having fits. You got brown shit running down your leg, you got the shits. Smoking several packs a day, bobbing and weaving. You get put away, no, you ain't gonna be leaving. But I created this form of dementia. You got who you were, where you were, even who sent you. You felt your skin crawl, creepy sensation. It's time for straight jacket and medication. But the only way to regain your sanity is to back up off me, let me spill my vanity. When I spill, there's no need to fight this. It's in the world of his own, it ain't nothing like this. So you can't copy, duplicate, or bite this. It takes a bad motherfucker to write shit like this. All my life I've been writing hot shit like this. Thank you.
The Iceman! Keep your applause going for the Iceman. Kevin, you have some feedback?
Iceman, you's a bad mother. I won't say it. No, I like the piece. I like the fact that you came out, you owned it, you go ahead and did it. At least from the judge's point of view, I'd love to see the eyes of the performer. So the hat kind of, with the lights. But other than that, man, it's great piece. Great piece.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I loved your rhymes. You came out with great confidence. I thought that the length was good. It was a little bit shorter, but it was powerful. The words you had were really powerful.
Alicia.
So when you came up on stage and you started talking, I immediately noticed your voice. I really dig your voice. And then also you were able to jump right into your piece. One thing that I would suggest is, even though it's short, try to your last line, bring that in more, because I'm oh, he about to continue. Is he gonna keep going? So just try to make sure that's more all together.
And DeForio.
In terms of spoken word, I didn't really need to see your face. I thought your voice was powerful enough, and we need to really listen to what you had to say and focus and concentrate. And I think people did that. They listened, they concentrated.
Thank you, judges.
I felt as though my performance was good. It was strong.
Actually, the judges enjoyed it, so I'm excited and I'm enthusiastic at this point in time.
Make some noise one more time for the Iceman. So the poet on deck is Jody Yo Bro, and coming to the mic we have Mira. Please put your hands together for Mira.
I love doing it. I love healing not only myself, but also the people in this world through my poetry. This is a new poem for the second season of Drop the Mic. I'm hoping that they like my poetry. I usually try to give out quality work to the world.
You know what I hate? One, I hate that grass is greener on the other side. Why can't it be gold? Two, I hate that what goes up must come down and what goes around must come back around. Three, I hate that Karma's a bitch. Why can't she be a female dog? Four, I hate letters that start with dear. Five, I hate trends. Six, I hate stories that end with the N. Seven, I hate how in Spanish they end with fin. Eight, I hate tomato. 9, I hate people who repeat the word hate. 10, I hate giving 10 examples just to get my point across about something. 11, I hate poems that count. 12, I hate when people repeat the word hate. I hate hatred in general. I hate that being different looks like everyone else. I hate that when I'm quiet, a cat always gotta have my tongue. I hate that love is always talked about but never could be held spiritually. I hate that spirituality is fighting in a war with unoriginality. I hate that when I wanna be me, I'm always juxtaposed to something else like apples and oranges or tea and coffee. I hate that green means go and red means stop. I hate poems that take forever to get their point across about something. I hate long writing sessions that consist of irrelevant thoughts, criticizing quotes, covering ideas that are banal or overused, but what I hate most of all is that word cliche. It intimidates my brain space. It thinks it's all that in a bag of chips. Well, guess what, cliche? Here's a taste of your own medicine. I'm gonna write a poem about you and tell the world how you are as overused as your meaning. Then explain how originality is dead like hip hop, or is that too cliche? The movies you watch over and over like Friday or Lean on Me, are they cliche? The timeless songs that you hear at every cookout like Summertime or Before I Let Go, are they cliche? The endless dances that you can't stop dancing to like the moonwalk or the electric slide, are they cliche? The original will always be the blueprint. Duplicating the original is not always bad. Sometimes you need inspiration to spark an innovation. Generations could have connections to these replications. A nation of liberation should have no intentions on terminating God's creation. Just look at the revolving revolution and everlasting evolution. Don't let cliches be a caution to you brilliant minds who keep this universe in motion. Thank you.
Mira! Make some noise for Mira. Elizabeth, do you have some feedback?
Yeah, I'm going to have to think twice before I write cliche on someone's paper, right? I love the numbers as a framework, and I loved how there was an increasing seriousness as you went on, and then you sort of pulled back a little bit to something silly, and then you went back to the seriousness. Your performance is always right on point, too.
Thank you. Alicia?
I think we have a very similar hate list. It's kind of interesting. But on another note, you're just like a really dope writer. I like how you take these different ideas and you counter this common idea with something that's not always seen or people don't always get. So I really like that you do that within your writing.
Thank you. DeForio?
I think that you are the inspiration and the blueprint. And if nobody knows, this is our last season's winner, yes. For good reason. So you got to bring it this time if you're trying to do it again.
And right. Kevin?
The champ is here. The champ is here. Yo, like Meek said, there's levels to this poem. And I like when you started to dig into it, you were going for it. This was just like last year. I don't hate this. This is a great piece. Nice.
Thank you, judges. Show your love one more time for Mira, everyone. And the poet, Closing out round 1 of audition show number 2 of Drop the Mic is Jody Yo Bro. Please make some noise for Jody Yo Bro. More noise than that, everybody. Make some noise. It's the final poet of round 1.
So, I tell stories about truths. My truths, others, just truths in general.
I'm Jody Yo Bro. It's my story. When I was little, I popped Skittles. Had to be cool like mom, cause she was drowsy off them blues, so she took work off. I remember cold nights, chairs outside of the stove, me and my bro at my crib, and we hang like Jim Crow. It got your name on it, so put your cap on his coat. We had enough, we had to bag it in a row like a boat. But when your fingers get cold, you had to suffer the blisters, and if you mess with my sisters, you got hooks like fishers. At slams, we snap like a pitcher. When I was poor like pitchers, that's how they made me dinners. Chicks, they think I'm a winner. Now I'm up in their crib. I see more than Skinner. Tell the Lord I'm a sinner. Hope her father forgive her. When we got the limo, that devil got in my sister. She started skipping them dinners and she just let niggas in her. She was stuck in the fast lane with them curves, no handbrakes. All I do is chief and my niece don't know my damn face. I got my own crib, but I can't pay rent. After my girl paycheck, I just leave her with sense. She tell me that she love me. She just love by the inch. And since the eighth, I was great with a pad and a pen. When my shoes ain't very, toes poking out the front, Halloween town scary. They talk first like Sari. Stop cannon like Carrie. I gotta carry a cannon to school cause this joint shot out. Tried to take the high route, Olympics I never had, so don't ask for a shout out. But when I had no house, summertime, I was sleeping outside. These chicks act surprised. Homie, why would I lie? I'm just asking God why. Went to Key crib when they got hot with my mom. Roaches in my beard, my school shirt smelled like a bomb. Cause I forgot to bag my clothes and you know Vaughn looked out. He gave me that blue sweater that I left at his house. So swing, 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 swing when I'm about to get jumped. And swing, 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 swing if they had the rope out. I just pray on my bros riding out. So I hop in the car and I floor it like tiles. I asked this girl for a slice and she gave me a smile. I'm like, where is she now? She looked weird to me now. It's funny how you can meet someone and never know how. Them 7th grade chicks probably fans of me now. I'm Jody Yo Bro.
Keep your applause going for Jody Yo Bro.
Just had to tell my story, that's all. It's not really much to it.
Alicia, do you have some feedback?
I really like how you started your poem off with the Skittles and pill popping line. That's like a really powerful way to start a piece off, and then coming back to back to back to back to back with these lines. And it was all in your expression, so you can tell that it's coming from a real place opposed to just this story that you decided to share with us. So it was really dope.
Thank you. DeForio.
Again, I think it's very important when people come up on stage and they can comfortably tell the truth. And we feel the truth as you deliver your piece. So good job.
Thank you. Kevin.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your pace, the material. I liked the story that you told, and I really liked the way you wrapped it all up. It didn't leave any guessing as to where it's going. Really great pace, nice piece, really good piece.
Thank you. And Elizabeth.
Yeah, that really touched me. I felt every word that you were saying. I also liked in the piece itself how you were going back to the past as you were talking about the piece, especially in the framework, how you started with that early experience and then moved forward. That was very powerful.
Thank you, judges. Everyone, show your love one more time for Jody Yo Bro. And please make some noise again for all of our student contestants this afternoon. And make some noise for yourselves for being a wonderful audience. That brings round 1 of audition day 2 of Drop the Mic to a close. Please join us for round 2. The scores from round 1 and round 2 will be combined. And from the totals, we will determine who our top 5 winners will be to move on to the final showcase. So once again, please give it up for our judges. Kevin Covington, Elizabeth Catanese, Alicia Dantzler, and DeForio Barlow. Give it up for our CCP TV crew. Make some noise. Couldn't do it without them. And thank you all again so much. see you again round 2. Thank you.